Good morning, students. I am Kringle. Today we will learn from Chemistry Chapter 1, Standard 10. The chapter's name is Chemical Reaction and Equations. Before to start this chapter, let us know what are the things that we will study in this chapter. In this chapter, we will study what is chemical reaction, what is chemical equation, characteristics of chemical reactions, different types of chemical reactions, and we'll also study about the effects of chemical reaction in our daily life. Along with this, we'll also study to balance the chemical equation to satisfy the law of conservation of mass. Before to start this chapter, let us know about physical and chemical changes. What is chemical change? Let us know. Chemical change is the change in which one or more than one type of new substances are formed. One or more than one type of new substance with new properties are formed. If new substance with new properties are not formed, then that is not a chemical change. In order to say a change, a chemical change, there must be the formation of new type of substance with new properties. And what is physical change? Let us understand this also. If there is no any change in the properties and the components of the substance, then that is physical change. Suppose that we change water into ice by freezing it, then there is no any chemical change, because the composition of ice and water is same. That means in both condition, in ice also and in water also, the molecule, the structure of molecule is H2O. So chemical change refers to the change in which new substances with new properties are formed. Now, what is chemical reaction? After understanding the chemical change, we can define chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is chemical change in which reactants are transformed into the products. In which reactants are transformed into the products. What are reactants and products? Let us understand reactants and products. Reactants and products. Let us define reactants. The substances which take part in chemical reaction are called reactants. The substances which take part in chemical reaction are called reactants. While the substances which are formed as a result of chemical reaction are called products. That means in every chemical reaction, the reactants gets transformed into the products, and the products will have different properties than that of the reactants. In this, what will happen? The products will have different chemical properties than that of the reactants. So we can define chemical reaction as the chemical change in which reactants gets transformed into the products. You can also define reactants and products easily. I think you have understand it. Again, I am going to define it for your convenience. So, what are reactants? The substances which take part in the chemical reaction are called reactants, and the substances formed as a result of chemical reaction are called products. Now, let us also understand what is chemical equation. What is chemical equation? The representation of chemical equation in the terms of molecular formulas and symbols of the elements taking part in the chemical reaction is called chemical equation. Again, I am going to tell you what is chemical equation. Listen carefully. Chemical equation. The equation, chemical equation means what? The representation of chemical reaction. The representation of chemical reaction by using the symbols and the molecular formulas of the elements and compounds taking part in the chemical reaction. The representation of chemical equation the representation of chemical reaction in the terms of symbols and molecular formulas, which are molecular formulas of elements and compounds taking part in the chemical reaction. Now we have understand this. Now let us understand how can we characterize that either the chemical reaction is taking place or not. Chemical reaction is taking place or not, that can be characterized by some characteristics. We can determine, by these observations we can determine that chemical reaction is taking place. First of all, let us understand, if there is evolution of gas, during a chemical reaction, then you can say that the chemical reaction is taking place. If in a reaction there is evolution of gas, then you can say chemical reaction is taking place. If there is a change in temperature, then you can say there is a chemical reaction. If there is a formation of precipitate, then you can say there is chemical reaction is taking place. If there is a change in color, then also you can say the chemical reaction is taking place. And if there is change in state of the matter, then also you can say the chemical reaction is taking place. So, to determine that the change is the chemical reaction or not, you can observe these things and you can determine that the chemical reaction is taking place. The first one is evolution of gas. The second one is change in temperature, formation of precipitate, change in color, and change in state of the matter. Now we can understand different types of chemical reactions one by one. Let us understand different types of chemical reaction one by one. There are mainly 5 types of chemical reaction. Combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction, redox reaction. Except this, there are other reactions also, like exothermic, endothermic reaction. These are we will study in the same chapter, but we'll discuss about it. But these are the main 5 types of reaction which we'll study one by one. So before to start this chapter, I want to do one activity which is given in your NCERT book. The activity is that about the magnesium, burning of magnesium ribbon. When burning of magnesium ribbon is also a chemical reaction. When we burn magnesium ribbon, then magnesium oxide, the white powder of magnesium oxide, is formed. That is also a chemical reaction. For this purpose, let us take one Bunsen burner. See, this is Bunsen burner. This is connected to the gas supply, and this is called Bunsen burner. Take one magnesium ribbon with the help of tongs. Hold the magnesium ribbon by the tongs, pair of tongs you can say it, and burn it. When it will burn, then in watch glass you can collect the white powder. It is magnesium oxide, MgO, magnesium oxide. That means when magnesium ribbon is burned, then magnesium oxide, the white powder of magnesium oxide, is formed. There the properties of magnesium is totally different with the magnesium oxide, because the oxygen present in the environment combines with the magnesium. The oxygen present in the atmosphere combines with the magnesium to form magnesium oxide. As we know that oxygen is essential for combustion. Without oxygen there is no combustion. And during its combustion of magnesium, oxygen combines with the magnesium and magnesium oxide is formed. When magnesium oxide burns, then white dazzling light is formed. White dazzling light. That means white dazzling light is formed. Bright white light comes out. We can see that it will burn with the white dazzling light, as we see in the crackers, that how it burns with a bright flame, isn't it? In the same way it burns, magnesium ribbon burns by producing white dazzling light. Now let us understand, in examination the questions are asked like this: why magnesium ribbon is cleaned before burning? Magnesium ribbon needs to be cleaned with sandpaper before burning it. That means without cleaning it, we can't burn properly. So we are instructed to clean it with the sandpaper before burning it. Why? What is the cause behind it? The cause is that the magnesium ribbon, when exposed in air, it combines with the oxygen and forms the layer of magnesium oxide. The layer of magnesium oxide is formed over the magnesium ribbon, which disables the efficient burning of magnesium ribbon. When we don't clean it, then what will happen? It will not burn properly, producing white dazzling light. So before burning it, that layer of magnesium oxide should be cleaned by using sandpaper. Then if the question is asked why magnesium ribbon should be cleaned before burning, then you can answer it like this: magnesium ribbon should be cleaned with sandpaper before burning to remove the layer of magnesium oxide. So that it would burn efficiently, producing white dazzling light. That means to burn it efficiently, producing white dazzling light, it should be cleaned. Now I think you have understand why it should be cleaned. The another question is that while burning magnesium ribbon, we should take one precaution. In examination you may be asked question: what precautions should be taken while burning magnesium ribbon? What precautions should be taken while burning magnesium ribbon? Then the precaution is what? Think. The white dazzling light which is produced while burning magnesium ribbon, it is very harmful for our eyes. So it should be kept far away from our eyes as much as possible. Then this is the precaution, that while burning magnesium ribbon, it should be kept far away from our eyes as much as possible. If we will place it far away from our eyes, we can prevent our eyes from getting damaged. That means there will be no more effect on our eyes. So this is the precaution that we should take while burning magnesium ribbon. Now we'll study about different types of chemical reaction one by one.